Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Just setting up the X spaces right now, and as usual, it's just not working. We got connecting. It's kind of bad when you're not even in your own room. Let's do another one. Yep. And yeah, I know I'm live on the video stream, but I want to, unless they fixed it, so no, they haven't done that. It's chat. Let's do another one. Okay, so, oh, interesting. I'm not sure. It sounds really loud coming through the Bluetooth. I'm not sure where that one came from. Let's go to. Let's go make sure the thing's updated. Search X. But how's everyone doing today? Let me pull up the chat there. Anders is here. Says good evening from Stockholm. Good to see you, Anders. Let's go ahead and. All right, so it says X is up to date. So let's go ahead and open it up and try the spaces again. Let's chat. Kacey and Friends, but not March. It's May 25th. Not the 26th. Where'd you get the 26th from? Start. Connecting. Okay, let's force close X. Open it up again. Spaces. May 25th. Start. There we go. I'm in my own room. All right, let's turn off the mute. Let's pull in. Oh, it still says connecting. Connecting. But I'm in the room. That's got to count for something, right? It doesn't show me talking because it says connecting. Let's see, just settings. Internal sound effects. And progress. I think we try one more time. I'm not going to end it. We're just going to end X, open X back up, and see if I can't reconnect to that thing that's connecting. Let's see. Let's go to my feed. No, it's not even on there. Okay, so make a new one. Spaces. Let's chat. May 25th. Start. Okay, skip. I'm in the room. I'm unmuted, but we're still connecting. So what I'll do, what can I do about it? We're on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi's connected. I'm going to like having the side channel. I want it. We know that spaces isn't down because other people have spaces. And minimizing it was not the right answer because minimizing it made it go away. So let's go over 2 spaces. Yeah, I see there's some big rooms in there all around the world. We'll start one of our own. Cannot fetch space. We'll try one more time. Do live on X2. Perfect. And Highlander says, hi, gang. Hello, Highlander. I'm still not sure why the space is not letting me make a space. For space. Hello. and then I'll rename it properly if the thing works. Connecting. Hello worked. Great. So we'll unmute and we'll rename this thing because hello is a stupid name for it. And we'll do, let's chat. Kacey and Friends, May 25th. There we go. And enter. Oh, not enter. Done. Okay, and then we will invite people. All right, so. Where'd it go? And oh, I see. Weird. Okay, that worked. Oh, okay, there we go. That's why I was blinking. You were coming to the room already. All right, so then we'll add Highlander. There we go. And then Robert's usually in here. Okay. No, I've glitched out the button. Let's see, Robert. Oh, I see. I hit the wrong button. That one was on me. Right, share. Robert. And let's see if Slimy's online. There we go. Now. All right, Highlander, sound check for you. Let's see if we're coming in correctly.
Mic check, please.
There we go. Okay. I got a few stories I pulled up. 2 are in the notebook, and the rest are not. So let's move this in my way, and then we'll click over here. That's not it. There we go. The notebook. And we'll move it where I can see it. And we'll put that on top. Notebook. And the first one is about LG. I don't remember what it is, but I read the story. So let's do paste and go. And then let's move it to a new window because if I'm looking off to the side, I'm not looking at you guys. So let's do open in new window. Move tab to new window. There you go. Make it smaller because it's bigger than my iPad. I don't like it when it doesn't have the arrow, but it does still want to resize. It's like if you have UI cues, they should do something. And our camera has fritzed out. I haven't done that much to it. All right, let's see. Oh, slow. Oh yeah, it's processing went up to 100. But the RAM, how's the RAM look? Should be at nothing for RAM because we've got oodles of it. Yeah, nothing for RAM. Because all of my main machines have over 100 gigabytes of memory. Let's see. Safari is running. What the heck is Safari? I don't use Safari. There's no reason this thing should be running. Ugh. I use Chrome and Edge, Firefox and Opera. I don't use Safari. There we go. That's kind of overlapping with you guys, but that works. And then I will pull you guys down over here.
I lost audio on X.
You did? Was it during that like freeze, that pause? Because it could have been that I just freaked out the computer. Let's see. It's yeah, it still shows me.
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it was related to that processing spike I had. So now I need to share screen, and we're going to do that exposed with Sawyer and LG share. All right, so news. LG Energy has told its partners that they will start ramping 4680 battery cell production at its new factory in South Korea in June to July, and that volume would increase significantly from there. It's good news. More batteries, more EVs, more grid storage, more of the good stuff. We need plenty for semi. Yeah, but at the same time, yeah, you want it to be a little closer to home with all the tariff stuff. All right, so that was the goodies on that one. So then the next one, copy link, paste and go. It's going to be to the tweets, and I think that one I needed to actually go to the article, but I was on my phone. I didn't want to go back and forth with the notebook. Ah, yes. So Honda commits to going out of business by pulling back on EVs as sales rise. The headline was enough to get me. This one's over at Electric. Let's share this tab instead because it opened a new one. Honda said that it will replace planned EV investments. Reduce its planned EV investments by $21 billion. I could scoot closer to the screen, but there's a child on my lap. Let's see how close I can get to that. Give me claustrophobia. There we go. Anyway, so they're going to reduce their EV investments by $21 billion. Right, like the author says, right as it. Who is the author on this one? Like Jameson says, right before this thing finally takes off. And Honda's actually doing quite well. They're outselling the Chevy Blazer while building the Chevy Blazer, or having Chevy build them a Honda badged Blazer. So interesting choice. However, as they pointed out many times, EV sales have not fallen, cooled, or slowed, or slumped. In the last year, since 2024, EV sales grew by more than they did in 2023. Meanwhile, gas car sales hit their peak in 2017 and have been trending downward ever since. There you go. So that one I just kind of wanted to bring up, like, why? Oh, Sergio's here. Hello, Sergio. Good to see you. Hey. Why would you invest more in the gas? I mean, I get not divesting in it because that's where your bread is buttered, but if you can see the trend lines, why would you put money into it? I know that you've done certain political donations to try and reverse the trend, but until you see them pay off, why would you pull back? Future Ozza's here. I'm here too, just quiet. Good to see you as well. And so, I mean, this one was one that got me, and I liked the headline. But we see it not just with some of these legacy companies. We see it with governments around the world, and then we see it with someone today from the UK. I need a car that charges in 10 minutes and goes 500 miles. Did you forget where you live? You people don't drive like that. You don't need 500 miles a shot because you guys think that 3 hours in the car is insane, whereas we think it's a short trip to the park. What's going on here? Oops, wrong button. And we've got something about charging later in the show. I thought was kind of fun. If you guys remember the snake, it's not the snake. Man, she complains a lot when she sleeps. Oh, I forgot to do the. There we go. I like it better this way. Yeah. So, you got anything to say on it, Highlander? Anybody in the chat got anything to say about people pining for a simpler time that never existed? Well, I queued up the next article, which is also from Electric, because I open these things in a weird order. Oh, somebody popped in and popped out. Where'd they go? Oh, and I need to make a Highlander moderator. I sent it, but it didn't send. There we go. So now let's go to check the chat one more time. We're gonna paste and go on this one. This one I just saw the picture and I was like, well, let's explore it together. All right, so Tesla full self-driving veers off road, flips car, and I see Islander jumped over to YouTube, and his phone doesn't let him do that. There we go. There he's back. Oh, but he's listening now. Let's make him co-host and speaker. And Liam's dad. Hello, Liam's dad. Good to see you. All right, so let's do. Let's see what this article's about, because I just saw the picture and the title and I was intrigued. So, the flips car crash the driver couldn't prevent. I like that they use crash and not accident, but let's see why they think the driver couldn't prevent it. A Tesla vehicle running the latest FSD suddenly veered off the road and flipped upside down. I saw a gas car flipped upside down the other day. Traffic had just basically stopped for a minute, and there were police and fire, and they were in there dealing with the people. And then as soon as we were past it, oh no, that's not how it went. There was a crash, and as soon as there were police and fire, and as soon as we passed that, it's like, why isn't this traffic speeding back up? Because there was another crash. So on the same side of the road, same stretch of road, a few dozen meters up, there was a car on the roof in the tree line, and they were dealing with that one. And so when we passed that collision, then the traffic resumed. Let's see, what was it? It was like a Subaru. It looked like a Subaru. And so let's see, like the wagons, not any of the SUVs or sports cars. Creating a scary crash that the driver said he couldn't prevent. He said that. Who wouldn't say that? I let the car crash me upside down. Nobody's going to say that. Well, not nobody, but almost nobody. Go ahead, speak, Islander.
It wouldn't let me join the room as a co-host.
Oh, still?
It gave an error message, so I left the room and came back.
Let me send it one more time, see what it does.
It wouldn't let me join as co-host, so I left the room and then came back.
Yeah, I heard you say that. I sent it again, hoping that maybe it will behave differently this time. Or is it still acting up? Okay, so we've seen many crashes involving FSD over the years. Many, how many is many? I've seen a few, but the vast majority of them have been a major contributing factor in common. The driver was not paying attention or not ready to take control, or they were paying perfect attention and ready to take control and let the car go too far in a space it could not handle.
Hey, Casey, did you see Dr. Know-It-All's post about the windshield?
No, what happened there?
Well, he had his windshield replaced. Pretty common occurrence.
Yeah.
Apparently, you have to put it in with laser precision because it messed up his FSD.
Yes. So when you replace when you replace the windshield, if it's a genuine windshield they put back in there, you just got to recalibrate it. But if it's a aftermarket windshield, then it's likely to never work again until you get a new one. Some of them do work, but getting that calibration to take is kind of hard. So if you have a Model X or Cybertruck, this is not a problem for you at the moment because they only have official glass. But on the Y, the 3, and the S, you can get aftermarket glass. And good luck. I don't know what's special about it either. Like, you'd think glass is glass, but something about the way that they do it just does not jive with any of these camera systems or radar systems that people have. Because you get the same complaints about anyone who's got an advanced, especially on the cars where they have some that don't have it, and then they put in the one that isn't set up for the autonomy. They put that one in the autonomous car, the autonomous features car, and then it messes up. Somebody had just a regular old minivan, but they put the glass from the base minivan in, and it stopped keeping in the lanes, and they had themselves a scary day. I think there should be some regulations on that. Not necessarily like laws or anything, but like the insurance company's giving them the money to put in something that works. They shouldn't be cheap about it. I'm not saying go and be wasteful, but put in a part that works. Let's see. So a common crash scenario is the vehicle hasn't seen an obstacle in the road. Yeah, that's what I'm always cautious about, when the vehicle doesn't see an obstacle, even though the driver would have had time to react if they were paying enough attention. That's a big one. Let's see. Future Raza says Liam's dad here. I've met him at least once in Texas. He was in the space, but I didn't hit it in time because I didn't realize it didn't give Highlander co-host. So yeah. So I guess what I need to do with that one is have you guys kind of scope people out for me and let me know that somebody's in the room that needs admitting and that you vouch for them, because whenever there's no moderator, I'm not looking at the phone because it's down here, so I miss people. YouTube requires me to log in, even though I'm already logged in, to confirm I'm not a bot. Lucky that X exists. This is true. YouTube's been weird lately, just to say the least. Let's see. Even when she's not trying, she's trying to wake up her sister. It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Your sister's just beating boxes for whatever reason. Maybe she thinks it's a drum set. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. But now that you're half awake, you can like scooch up. She likes to scooch all the way down to fall. Are you just complaining, or her eyes are still closed? I told you, she complains in her sleep. She's just a complainer. But it's okay. Future Rosa says, look everywhere all at once, especially the camera. How hard could it be? Well, when driving, yeah, absolutely. But when driving, I expect you to be scanning. But I guess I could adopt that. Like, I'm checking my mirrors. I guess I could do that. I don't have FSD to help steer me straight on this one. Speaking of FSD, let's go back to the story. Even though they would be able to react if they were paying attention. Despite its name, FSD is considered a level 2 driving assist. Yes, because they haven't certified it yet. It's a level 2. Yeah, I figured you meant in the studio. I thought it was about the how I wasn't checking over here at the phone. Okay, so let's see. Hence, while Tesla has recently added the supervise to the name, they added the supervise to the name because people kept suing them. And they wanted to make it clear what it was and what it could do and what your responsibility was. The automaker has implemented a driver monitoring system to ensure the driver's attention, but it was gradually relaxing those. Yeah. Did I send you an invite to the on-screen, Brian? I don't know if I did or not. I've been so frazzled with children's. I can toss you one real quick if you got the time and inclination. Where is my mouse cursor? So sitting back and watching the road was exactly what Wally, a Tesla driver in Alabama, was doing when his car suddenly veered off the road in Tooney, Alabama, earlier this year. We got another comment here. Brian says, I don't believe that the flipped car crashed for a second. It doesn't add up. That's not one of FSD's known failures. Yeah, exactly. Unless it like overcorrected to avoid a VRU or like a deer or something, it shouldn't really be leaving the road surface at all. Don't know. I'm barely awake. All right. Well, let me know and I can toss you one. Let's see. Where is... There we are. I had it highlighted and I unhighlighted it. Oh, no, I didn't. I scrolled down too far. Just today, Tesla released an X post which said that drivers can just lean back and watch the road while using FSD. The big difference between constantly making micro adjustments, watching traffic, anticipating the behavior of other drivers, versus just leaning back and watching the road. As a legacy driver, I can't just lean back. I have to, keep a hand with pressure on the wheel. But it does reduce a lot of the cognitive load of just the minutia of driving, so that you can focus on people who are going to be a problem. You can look at the sides of the road for creatures. You can look at the road surface for debris. I feel it makes me more active rather than less active in the road. So let's see. But that might just be me. Sitting back and watching while I did. I used FSD every chance I could, every chance I could. I actually watched YouTube videos to tailor my FSD settings and experience. Okay, that scared me. That intro. I was like, please don't tell me to watch YouTube videos while driving. To tailor my FSD settings and experience. I was happy I could drive. I was happy it could drive me to Waffle House, and I could just sit back and relax while it would drive me on my morning commute to work. And it's not perfect here, but it does a really good job here. But I guess if you're in an area where it's not perfect, you're already more predisposed to be watching to catch the kind of failures it makes, and also for it to just do something weird sometimes, randomly. And those of us who have been in the program for a long time, like I said, in the first year and a half, it would try to kill you once a month, and makes you very respectful of it. In fact, my first 3 editions, it tried to jump off an overpass. Not the way I want to go, so I've got a healthy dad instinct on FSD. Let's see. 2 months ago, he was working. He was driving to work on.
But speaking of Waffle House, did you see where they're putting in DC fast chargers?
Yeah, I heard something about that. It was pretty cool. Something like half of their locations or more.
More is my understanding. Looks pretty neat though.
Oh yes, and it's the perfect amount of time, because by the time that you figure out what you want, put your order in, they make it, and you scarf some of it or get it put in the bag to take with you. You've got enough miles to keep going. Brent says, "I'm gonna die in my sleep like my grandfather, not yelling and screaming like everyone else in their car." Oh, nice. All right, so he shared the Tesla Cam video of the crash. Let's take a look, because I'm curious now. We're gonna hit play, and we're probably have to hit mute. No, okay, let's make it bigger. Unlikely. That is unlikely an FSD move. Let's watch it again. I like it was just like recording the ground. All right, so replay. Possibly, but unlikely. You see that line in the road? That could be something, but I mean, it's a shadow, but this was really kind of tuned for shadows. From the quality of this video, we can tell he's got a hardware 3 vehicle, because a hardware 4 vehicle would be much clearer. The shadow of the sign could be interpreted as a pothole, but looking at the markings, there's no reason for the car to move over that much. So if it thought that was a pothole, it would move to the middle like this. If it decided it wasn't going to just run through and bust the tires. That's its preferred mode. So what I would think is that this happened and he took over, or he might have bumped it with his leg or something, and then at this point, from here, it's no longer under FSD, and it's just coasting on inertia until this. Excuse me. That also happens to explain how it went upside down, because it without the help of the tree here, if it had flipped for the ditch, it would have flipped back. Interesting. All right, let's undo that. Wally told Electric that he didn't have time to react, even though he was paying attention. Okay, so it's a newer Model 3, but not a Highland, right? No, it's not a Highland. I don't think it is. The trooper, hey, you need any help there? You can't park there, bud. It's a very bad morning. All right, let's see here. I was driving, I had FSD on, the oncoming car passed, and the wheels started turning rapidly into the ditch, and sideswiping the tree. And the car flipped over, and I didn't have any time to react, he says. The car ended up flipping upside down from the crash. My chin split open, and I had to get 7 stitches after the impact. So the airbag didn't go off, at least not the front one. I was hanging upside down, watching blood drip down the glass roof, not knowing where it was bleeding from. I unbuckled the seat and sat on the fabric interior in the middle of the 2 front seats, and saw that my phone's crash detection went off and told me first responders were on the way. My whole body was in shock from the incident. That's probably an iPhone then. So, I don't believe that the crash detection on the Android phones is all that on yet. There's the watch, but I don't remember seeing the setting on this latest phone. However, the car will do the same thing, even in the States. Although in the States, the car will use your phone to do it. Outside the States, like in Europe, it'll use its own modem to do it, versus your phone anywhere. Especially once you invert and it's on the wireless charging pad. Let's see. My whole body was in shock from the incident. I went on a tangent about 911. Crash detection went off. My whole body was in. Okay, yes, I was on the right spot. The Tesla driver said that one of the neighbors came out of their house to make sure he was okay. Like, what the heck is going on out here? What are you doing in my yard? Oh, that looks like you got to a spot there, dude. Oh, by the way, you can't park there. Wally said he was on FSD 13.2.8 on the hardware 4 latest FSD technology. Okay, so it was the latest FSD hardware. I don't know why the recording was so low quality. Most of the hardware 4 videos I see are a step above. That looks like my car could have recorded it. So that was a Highland. That's what I was saying with the new wheels there. He requested that Tesla send him the data from his car to better understand what happened. I wonder if they did it in time, and if he did it the right way, such that Tesla actually got it to him, or if they said, "Oh, it took too long. It's been deleted." Electric's take. You can, as we talked about many shows ago, either order the kit yourself or hire somebody who has the kit to pull the data directly from your vehicle. All right, so Electric says this is where FSD gets really scary. I get that Tesla admits FSD can make mistakes, the worst possible moment, and the driver needs to pay attention at all times. They say it all the time. The idea is that if you pay attention, you can correct those mistakes, which is true most of the time, but not always. So far, for me, it's been always. There was one curb it decided to eat that I didn't catch, but if I was paying more attention and knew that the Model X could catch curbs at that particular version, I would have caught it. but I had grown a little complacent and was used to the idea that the Model X didn't catch curbs. And so it went up and over. And basically, it just cut it a little too tight. I said, "What are you, a Model 3? You're not. You're a big girl." And that was the only time it ever did that. There was one other time where it did the inverse. And instead of going up over a curb, it went off the road. The right rear wheel dipped into like the gravel cut in a right-hand turn. I might have done the same thing because there was like a log in the road and the car didn't want to hit the log. I think I might have been able to keep it on the road and not hit the log. But that's just me. It felt like it was doing the right thing, and then it went an inch too far. Easy mistake. Let's see. Oh, let me check the chat real quick. I'm sorry. I've got you guys on the iPad, but I overlap the article with you guys. That way I'm still looking at the camera the whole time. Let's see. So, all right, catch you in a little bit, Brian. FSD loves smack and puddle. Exactly, that's its favorite mode. The shadow is parallel to the road, so if the car thought it was a road marking and followed it, it would have gone straight. It's a very good point. Very good point, because we were catching it at an angle, but with all the cameras it's got, it would know that it was straight and just make a straight left turn. Cam doesn't show if it's on FSD. Correct. That's one thing I like about the way that Greenlee only's videos do. He has an overlay that where he shows the wheel position, FSD on or off, and the amount of braking and acceleration, as well as if the physical brakes are on and how much. Like if Tesla would do that, they can. If they would do that, it would. I think it would debunk almost all of these, like 99.99999 of these, and then you'll find a couple where, yeah, the car screwed up. Joel says, if I'd say if we were paying attention, and I'd overcorrect at the worst and be on the other ditch. I've been there where it does something that surprised me, and I just put too much input in. Thankfully, on the latest versions, when you put input in, it stops accelerating. I'm on a legacy, so I don't have the one pedal driving. So in the beat where it stops accelerating, mine has not yet turned on the full regen yet. So I've always been able to use that to catch things. But yeah, if it started braking right away, that might be more interesting in how everything goes. But the fun ones are where the thing is just too polite. And other times where the Southern hospitality says, "Oh no, you go ahead." Flash the lights and they're waving on. It's like, I think it knows that, but it's a little cautious. It doesn't like wait their full turn, but it I guess it's checking to make sure that there's nobody going to just cream it on the way through, perhaps. But so on those ones, I find I have to give it a little go ahead. But other times, like if somebody's on a main road and they're letting you out, it takes their extra hesitation as weakness and it just jumps out. I don't know, like they're not waving you on, they're not flashing the lights, they're just taking too long. Is it seeing something in them that I'm not seeing? It's like, are they actually waving me on and I can't see through the tint? And it can. I don't know. Joel also says, I drove from Boston to Tucson and back using FSD Harbor 4, and the worst thing that happened was it was too aggressive driving in the snow. Yes. Oh, yes. That, sometimes in the rain, but not as much in the rain anymore since the whatever hurricane that was. I drove it to give them back their car. At that point, it actually became the opposite of too aggressive. Anytime a truck trailer would spray it, it would 10 miles under what it was doing already. and then about 8 minutes before it would pick back up again. Probably closer to 5, but it felt like 8, 10. Or maybe that's just because another truck would pass me and then spray it all over again. All right. Nope, I'm trying to scroll on the thing that's in the background here. Oh, wow. Kramer's making predictions about stuff. If I had some play money right now, I would totally do the opposite of whatever he just said. Except that it looked like he was talking something smart at that point. So that might be a reactionary move right there. Let's see. In this case, the driver had less than a second to react. That's plenty of time. If you and FSD aren't speeding. I find on the roads that look like that, mine will sometimes try to do a 55, 60, 45, 35. So I've been cutting it down because it's hurry mode. Yes, it's hurry mode, but hurry safely. A very similar thing happened to me last year when Model 3 FSD veered to the right, trying to take an emergency exit on the highway for no reason. It's not the same thing. And yeah, I'm glad it doesn't try to take every exit anymore. I was able to control it in time, but it created a dangerous situation as I almost overcorrected. Yeah, exactly. Like Joel was saying, sometimes if it takes us by surprise, we might put too much input in. Either acceleration with the lightning pedal or steering is usually the biggest problem if you just steer too much. I do wonder if that's easier to fix on the Cybertruck. They can kind of watch what you're doing and dampen it a little bit if you're going on a suboptimal path for whatever you're telling it you want to do. And they can guess from the takeover. Top comment was scratching my head on why Tesla thinks Robotaxi is ready for rollout in June. Well, we haven't had a new FSD update in months, so maybe the one that we would have got is great, or maybe the reason for the lack of updates is because they've been working really hard on Robotaxi. Someone seems to think it is the future of the company, and it could be if they get approved and do this quickly.
We have a new listener in the room, Mr. Green.
Yeah, he requested to speak. Is he good or he's gone?
That's what happens.
Yeah. All right, so the title works for the video stream. I wonder if we need to adjust the title for the live spaces to make people feel more comfortable coming in. It's like, I don't know this guy. I'm not his friend yet. I don't know. We'll chew on that for a while. Maybe one day I'll finish the notebook in time to not just have curated it, but to have a theme. And I can just make the theme, let's chat about blah with Kacey. I don't know. Maybe after this one gets her first teeth, we can do something, because that's part of why she's been so miserable. Is that the two little ones in the front are starting to come.
I get to learn a whole lot about the intricacies of YouTube.
Yes,
with the simultaneous X every time I join you on Sundays.
Indeed. I've got some ideas on how to make that more fluid as well, but that requires sitting down and watching the video lessons on how to use my new equipment here with the microphone, how to plug the video into it, and such.
Maybe you could share it with Mark. I don't know why he keeps freezing his video lately.
Yeah, that was weird. He did try a new browser on the very latest Tesla Life Express, and he wasn't frozen. You're okay, baby. It was a bad dream. Wake up. Wake up. Hey. I know. You're okay. You're okay. It was a bad dream. Yeah, see? You're here. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll lay down to sleep. It's a lot more comfortable. You don't have to. You don't have to. But let me put this on my shoulder. See that more soft than my shirt? Is that bad? I'm sorry. Yeah. But you're okay now. You're okay. I'm right here. Ed is here. You okay? They didn't get you. If they got you, you wouldn't have woke up. Yeah. That's how it works. They get you in your sleep. You're gone. But you're here, so they're not good. You got it. Yeah. See? There you go. I gotta sit up. I offered you the lap, but you said no. Well, I just dropped something. I don't know what. You don't lay down? I'll try to let you know. See what happens. Complaints. There you go. So cute. Okay. In Wally's case, it's unclear what happened. It's possible that FSD believed that it was about to hit something because of the shadows in the ground, but unlikely. And here's the view of the front-facing camera, fraction of a second before the FSD was to it. Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, I covered your hand? I'm sorry. I just didn't want you to have a draft on. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to keep talking. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to keep talking. Huh? Mm. Let's check out these comments, make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, let's continue on. It's just speculation at this time. Either way, Tesla has a problem with complacency with FSD, where drivers are starting to pay less attention on FSD, leading to some crashes. But there are also these even scarier crashes that appear to be 100% caused by FSD, with very little opportunity for the drivers to prevent them. This is even scarier. The other thing to look at here, though, is when FSD unsupervised. Oh, you have gas. You want me to rub your belly? Is that better? Okay. There you go. Well, they can't smell you. Just let it rip. They'll hear you, and I'll totally say, hey, that was her. But you won't feel better. You'll feel better. I promise you. Yeah, the microphone's pointed right at you. I'm kind of glancing at the microphone, but it's pointed right at you. Yeah. Would you like some milk? Okay, here. There you go. Some crashes, but these are so. The thing with this is that with the FSD unsupervised and the robotaxi, Tesla is completely liable in these incidents. So it's in their best interest to make sure they don't happen. Because had this happened, they'd owe him a new car. Then whatever his lawyer is able to come up with, unless they've kind of built it in there that it's only going to be actual damages or something like that. But depending on where the crash occurs, they might not be able to get out of it with some like contracty tomfoolery. Let's see. One new comment since we started looking at it. Anyone who voluntarily rides on a robotaxi should have their head examined. I would try it. I wouldn't be the first customer, but I would try it. Scratching my head on why Tesla thinks they need a stock pump. That's possible as well. Stock is always the main product. I don't really agree. It's a really good car. Short squeezes. The Ministry of Justice, Law Enforcement, and the Army will have the full free speech opportunity to choose freely. The reflection of the camera, I'm not gathering exactly what he was saying there. On a similar road, FSD tried to evade what he thought was a pothole. There's my pothole theory, but it was just a puddle. And it went completely across the yellow line before getting back in the lane, the correct side of the road. But it was very sudden, and I never had a chance to react. I've since been wondering how it would have behaved had a car come from the other direction. I can tell you. So if it sees something it's trying to avoid, and a car is coming the other direction, it slows down. But if the other car is also slowing down because it sees it coming over, now you have a weird game of chicken going on. Had a bicyclist on their side, and something on my side it was trying to avoid, and it was reacting to the bicyclist and the car coming the other direction and the apparent hazard. And it was going to just go around in between the bicyclist and the other car and to deal with it. But the other car was not going at a consistent speed, so it didn't know what to do, so it slowed down. Other times, I've told you guys about the trucks in the two-lane industrial road, where it just goes the other side and comes back. It doesn't just go, it signals and moves over. 2 days ago, I had a FedEx truck making a delivery on another one of those two-lane roads, straight, not curved. Very bumpy. Saw the FedEx truck. The car and I both saw there was no traffic coming the other way. And rather than getting up to the truck and moving over and doing it all slowly, it turned on the blinker. About I get 2 blinks. I got 2 blinks, and then it moved over to the other side of the road completely, all the way to the other side of the road, minus the pothole that was on the left side there, and passed the FedEx truck, and then came back. But as we were in the middle of passing the FedEx truck, the driver comes up to the side of the road, so the speed dips just a hair, because it needs to make sure that he's not going to, jump in the street without looking. Driver sees us and doesn't step into the road, so the car continues at the slightly slowed speed and gets in front of the FedEx truck and then picks back up. So I can see how they think it's almost ready if they've got something that's like months ahead of what we've got. And remember, I'm on a car that got its computer in 2019, so it's certainly possible that the new hardware is ready enough that they're willing to take on that liability. Let's see here. We've got, sadly, it would disconnect, alarm free to take over, even if you have no chance of intervening. So the problem with this theory is that anything that happens 5 seconds before a crash still counts as an FSD crash. So that would still be an FSD crash. They're not getting out of anything with that. It's 90, even if it's 99% reliable, you need 99.999, and that's 1,000 times more difficult, which they've been selling us on for months now. Okay, so that's enough of the comments. They're going to degrade quickly, so we'll ignore them. So let's go to fun stuff. Fun stuff. As soon as I get my cursor back. No, I didn't want you to look it up. I want you to copy it. Look good looking up an article. A URL. This is a URL. It goes to this site. Yeah, thanks. That's helpful. Tesla co-founder and Komatsu bring a mobile megawatt charging to job sites. I keep telling you guys about all these heavy equipment that have either gone battery or have like these swappable modules where you can switch one of the modules to a diesel generator. Well, what if you have one of the equipments that doesn't have the swappable modules? Huh? What you can do is pull this up. So there's no question that electric construction equipment is safer, more precise, generally safer than diesel equipment that it's replacing. But getting power to the equipment is a logistical challenge, or can be, depending on where the site is located, right? With this new mobile megawatt charging station, however, Komatsu thinks they found a solution with up to 6 megawatts of power. So this would also be able to handle 6 of the new V4 native chargers for Tesla, the superchargers. Developed by Tesla co-founder Ian Wright, who also founded a company that makes electric garbage trucks, and also the MAG, and a Japanese equipment producer Komatsu. The groundbreaking of the mobile megawatt charging system promises to bring electricity where it is needed. The job site then quickly dispense enough energy to get the electric machines under its care back up and running. We have a comment. Brian says, underground mining rigs have gone electric. Yeah, I interviewed Caterpillar about it. The fumes aren't even the biggest issue. The real problem is the trapped heat, because you can do scuba. Not that anybody wants to, but you could. But like you said, you don't want to be cooking both your humans and your equipment in the underground environment. It's already hot enough from the earth itself as you get down there, so you don't want to be adding the additional hundreds of degrees and spark risk and everything you get from having a combustion equipment underground. I agree. All right, so next up on that.
Sounds like it's time for one of the mini modular nuclear reactors.
Yeah.
And have you noticed that it's becoming more and more of a talking point in the mainstream media?
Yes. Supposedly in the spending plan, they have taken some of the money that was pointed to wind and solar, especially wind with Don Quixote up there, afraid of his windmills, to invest in more nuclear. But from what I can tell, it's the classic nuclear and not the new SMR stuff. So the fastest we can expect anything to happen, even with the slashing of regulations, is 3 years. And hopefully the regulations slash are not the safety regulations, but more like you need 8,000 environmental reviews before you can cut a blade of grass. Yeah, because that one is slowing us down. But if it's like, hey, you need to have an emergency plan, and the water needs to be, not have leaks in it when you discharge it, those ones, I kind of like those ones. But hey, did you have an impact statement on how heavy your impact statement printed out would be? Like, come on now. Which one did you want? But yeah, so I think we will see at least some more moves to nuke. Hopefully, we see some actually open up rather than another $9 billion hole in the ground, like we saw with South Carolina Electric and Gas, now a Dominion Energy Company, aka Virginia Power and Lighting. Is that still a separate company, or are they Dominion now too? Either way, Virginia Power. Groundbreaking. This is the mock-up of the Komatsu DMAG mobile charger. And that looks like an MCS connection on the back there. Even better. But the question then is, are they going to move the equipment from CCS 1 to MCS? I don't know that that's a good move, because MCS has no AC charging provision. And on some of these job sites, they don't work in the dark. I mean, yeah, you can do lights and everything, but some of them, sun goes down, they've been gone for an hour. Perfect time to AC charge. Even if there is no grid, AC charging is easier to supply the amount of kilowatts you need, because you can just do them overnight. So you would need equipment that has both an MCS port and a NACS port to do AC charging. And if you got an NACS port, you can already do up to a megawatt anyway. This will be interesting to watch. What did they put on the medium duty trucks? Long range, I get them just doing MCS only, because if it's OTR, they aren't planning to stop long enough to get an AC charge. But I did like that the semi program for Tesla, they are still talking about an AC charging solution, because even if you're OTR, if you are private, you will take the truck home sometimes. And say you pulled up for Thanksgiving dinner in between runs, it would be nice to have enough to make it to the next stop, rather than having to take some of your precious logged time once you hit the button and waste it recharging the truck when you could have gone a little further down the road instead. So the battery energy storage system. So it's a big battery, DC-DC converter. I'm assuming there's also a generator on board, or is this thing like a fuel tanker and you'll just take it off site and then bring it back and take it off site and bring it back? Either one of those would be an interesting solution. The battery energy storage system on board can be connected to DC fast charger itself, or trickle charge between shifts. Okay, so they're doing what I was saying, but just of the tanker rather than of all the equipment, which could be useful if you can just leave the equipment where it stands, if it's like a crane or an excavator or something. I guess even some of the bulldozers and steamrollers and such. Both the battery and its control system make use of an advanced thermal management solution that Komatsu and DMAG say that optimizes both safety and battery life during high power delivery. I mean, if you get a big enough battery, then the high power discharge is still less than 1C. And if you need more than 1C to charge your equipment, then your battery is too small for your tanker. So those all go hand in hand. Hi. You feeling better? More milk? Okay. You said more milk. You're blocking your mouth. Do you want it or not? That's what I thought. Like, well, I can put it back. What's more is the charging capability won't stop at just 1 megawatt. Okay, so then they might need MCS for themselves at least. So MCS on one side, make it bidirectional, and then CCS or JNX on the other side. You done? All right. $2 means a big deal to him, but it means a snack to you. Yeah. I don't know you could make that song today. It's a little insensitive. I mean, the meaning is still good, but the terminology is rough. He's a bum. Yeah, it's green. It's so very green back there. Like my shirt that I like, huh? It's green as far as the eye can see. There's a new wall in the room. It's a roll up poster. And it's very green. That's right. Yeah. Hi, olive oil. Yeah, Popeye. See? Because I ate some spinach. Well, you were doing it to me. You don't like Popeye? Open both eyes. Oh, that's funny to you. Oh, good burp. Oh, I got you. You drank too much milk is what that is. You're full. You're overflowing. I had a Prius that would do that. If you filled it with too much gas, at random, before you closed the lid, you would spit it on the ground. And at $5 gas, you had cross words to say to the car that spit the gas on the floor after you filled it up. You did. You totally did. You're all good. See? All gone. Feel better? It's a hard seat. Well, you wanted this in the armrest. Here, you want some of the soft pillow? Here, I got the soft pillow. We're talking about batteries and the job site. The tractors that your sister likes to look at? Yeah. You'd like to look at tractors too if you could spend more time outside. I think you would. I like them and she likes them. Yeah, that's the same stuff. Why are you asking for more milk? You just spilled. Where'd your pacifier go? I give you that. Yeah, that's a good burp. Is it the thing that you don't know the difference between burp and milk? Because that would explain a lot of our communication here. No, you're looking right at the milk bottle. You want me to burp you some more? I'll burp you some more. Don't jump. It's not worth it. Don't jump. Yeah. Okay, so it won't stop at 1 megawatt. That's exciting. To make sure that the MWCS can get all of that power that it needs, however, it needs all the power that it needs to. The machine is equipped with stout construction grade AT tires. Okay, good. And 4-wheel drive. Okay, that's probably not necessary, but it's very helpful. And 4-wheel steering that we've learned is, more useful than people expect. And to navigate the tight surroundings and the rough terrain that other solutions won't be able to get to. And while it isn't mentioned in the press release, there's a common sense idea here that you could, in a pinch, use the MWCS to tow less capable vehicles out of the mud and snow if needed. See, that would be really cool if they don't void your warranty for doing that. Well, yeah, stick right in my cord. That's why the cord was. Do you want to go with mommy? You just threw up. She's not going to give you milk. I've got milk right here. Why are you scowling at your mommy like that? A really nasty look there. It's so mean. You sleepy? You want mommy? Every time I say mommy, you go, who? Who? Mommy. Stand her down. Oh, there she goes again. You can do whatever you want. You want to go with her? Stay here? I mean, I can give you some more, but you're going to spill it again. All right, fine. Go play with mommy and sister. Yeah? Yeah.
I want to go check sale on Costco. I think that room 2 should be enough. If they still sale.
If they have them, yeah. All right, so that would be kind of cool to tow some stuff out of a ditch or whatever, or just stuck in the mud, really. Container-sized mobile charging solutions have been around for quite some time, and they are an obvious solution here. You can fit about 4 megawatt hours of battery in a single one. Yeah, you could do a 10-foot equivalent or 20-foot equivalent regular old container, put 4-wheel steering and some naughty tires on it, and it won't look as cool as this, but that's an easy, cheap start into this, especially if you're doing DC only, with a AC charger on one end for the slow charging part. if you get heavy equipment to a site, getting one of those is not going to be an issue. This is true. And when they're empty, drive them to the nearest fast charger. Yep, exactly. I thought there was going to be some diesel in this. I didn't see any of that, so I was glad to see that part. The big trailers are tough to get into a mine or wet earth, across wet earth. There's that. There's that. This will be interesting to see. And like if you can do like a temporary like solar array, like the Army was trialing, where you just roll out like a quarter of an acre of solar panels behind a vehicle, you can then switch these cows out to go do the tanker duty, and then one could be charging while the other is servicing the vehicles in your fleet. Yep. So next up, I think they could. Yeah, I think they could. And I'm not signed in the other trick yet. Why am I not? Let me sign in over here. Fingerprints. Yep, electric. Oh, that's why. Let's try one thing real quick. Yes, baby. Oh. She's counting all over the map. All right, we'll just do the forgot password thing and fix it later. Well, not long ago. Ag Expo. And asked what was available in electric farm equipment. Bad news is there really isn't much out there. See, the problem with that is you're looking at a captive market and limited number of suppliers. Not that customers don't want any electric. Although there are a lot of them that have been sold on the 5 minutes and 1,000 miles of charge mess. So, moving on, we talked briefly last week about or the week before, about how Texas has gone ahead and approved, was it Texas? But how Aurora got more approvals, and they were going ahead with their diesel autonomous trucks, and how everybody should be afraid of what's happening next. But maybe that was premature. We're looking at a blog post written by Aurora CEO. The company said the decision to put human operator back behind the wheel of its tech-boosted Peterbilt Class 8 semi-trucks was a result of pressure from the truck manufacturer's parent company, PACCAR, who apparently wanted a human in place because a certain prototype in parts of the base vehicle platform. So they're afraid that because the truck is running on prototype hardware, that if something broke down, they'd want a human, experienced truck driver there to deal with it. And I don't blame them. The question, though, is if it is ready for full self-driving, driverless, what are you doing to occupy the driver to make sure they're there? They're there when you want them to take over, or does this thing pull over safely and now you've just got a 1 minute response time instead of however long it takes to get a technician out there? In his own words, a core part of our strategy has always been building a strong ecosystem of partners across the industry, from OEMs to logistics providers and regulators. The partnerships are essential to delivering a safe, scalable commercial product. Of those partners, PACCAR requested that we have a person in the driver's seat because of certain prototype parts in their base vehicle platform. We are confident this is not required to operate the truck safely based on the executive testing, covering nearly 10,000 requirements and 2.7 million tests. And analysis that populates our safety case. PACCAR is a long-term partner, and after much consideration, we respect their request and are moving the observer, who had been riding in the back of our on some of our trips, from the back seat to the front seat. This observer, because that's how they were doing it, because they were in the back and they didn't have to do the minutia. But now they're in the front seat. But in the front seat, depending on where you're driving, you can't do some of the stuff that you were able to do in the back, like update your logbooks and do your reports on how the vehicle's performing. You'll have to wait till you pull over. Interesting. Yeah, even if they're not driving. The observer will not operate the vehicle. The Aurora driver will continue to be fully responsible for all driving tasks, including pulling over to a safe location if required. And we've shown that we can do that safely, with the Aurora driver operating more than 6,000 driverless miles along our commercial launch lane between Dallas and Houston. The change has had no impact on our near, mid, and long-term development plans. So none of our development plans are affected by the manufacturer requesting we put somebody back in the chair. I'm curious what prototype parts we're talking about here and why they think that having somebody in the seat versus just in the vehicle will make a difference. The reintroduction of human operators, just as the Texas state lawmakers are reviewing House Bill 4402, a proposed law just passed out of the Texas House Committee on Transportation, would require trained drivers in human operators would require trained human operators in autonomous vehicles, effectively banning full self-driving semi-trucks in Texas. Well, I guess they might be getting out ahead of this. They expect it to pass. Requiring a human operator. And wait, how is that going to work for robotaxi? Or is it just trucks? Because if this is, again, how Texas treats one of their largest employers, while wheeling behind Musk's coattails about how the factory is there in the first place. Interesting. What I'm getting at here is how Abbott's always cheerleading on everything that the factory does, while doing nothing to make sure that they can sell and service the vehicles in Texas without legal shenanigans and loopholes. And kneecapping their ability to do the robotaxi would go in that same vein. Let's see. Hundreds of thousands of Texans who turn a key for a living. They have mortgages. Excuse me. So this is a union, non-union jobs protection bill. Oh, there's the actual union right there, Teamsters. Requiring a human operator in a driverless truck isn't unreasonable. It's common sense, says Brent Taylor, president of the Teamsters, Joint Council 80 in Texas, and in the Southern Region International Vice President, adding, there are hundreds of thousands of Texans who turn a key for a living, have mortgages, and medical bills, and families to support. We can't let out-of-state billionaires steal their jobs with reckless automation. We must protect their livelihoods by passing a critical bill into law. This is complicated, and I like what the unions can do and the idea of having them, and when they're providing protections, but the same way I don't feel that the dealership model should be mandated by law. I also don't necessarily feel that protecting positions against automation for the sake of keeping a job exclusively is the way to go either. The job of a longshoreman has changed because we no longer have burlap sacks of fruits and veg to load. We put them in a container just like everything else. And, the container changed and rocked that industry. And they're still there, and they still do well for themselves. And it's not to say that it's perfect, because when you look at that industry in other countries, they are faster and more efficient than we are. And then you've got the whole Jones Act thing. I just don't. I see both arguments of it. This doesn't sound like the way to go. The Teamsters has supported a number of bills nationwide that require human operators in autonomous commercial vehicles, including 2 such bills that have passed in both houses in California, only to be vetoed by Governor Newsom. Governor Newsom. By Governor Newsom. Interesting. This is something to watch going forward. See how this plays out. I'm not going to scream Luddites, because as we just saw, the upside down Model 3, but I don't think that was all it was purported to be. I also don't know that Aurora was as ready as they say, with just 6,000 rides. I'm sure they published the data. I haven't seen it. This will be interesting to watch unroll. National driver and equipment operator shortage continues to make the headlines, but companies would rather avoid talking about operator pay plummeting, opting instead to invest big money into self-driving and autonomous technologies to bridge the gap. Here is where something like Tesla Semi and the Volvo we talked about last week come into play, because they both handle the long range appropriately. As I said in the past, if the operators don't get greedy, they can share some of the savings with the drivers in the form of pay, and still come out ahead of their competition. And more pay and better conditions will see more people come back to the profession. It will not get back to like it was, so they will still need something, but that would be a step, because if you still have all your other expenses, the driver pay wasn't a huge portion of your diesel truck expenses. That was the fuel. So perhaps if we were how many did they say we're short? If one driver could drive 3 trucks or 2 trucks with a follow that cab situation, and then a smart enough platooning solution where it could stretch out and let people enter the highway and bunch up and save fuel when they're running the slow lane or whatever. I think that is to be welcomed. And then you still have somebody on site, but it will increase your losses should there be an issue with one of the 3 vehicles, one of the 2 vehicles, and the human has to stop the whole platoon to deal with whichever one has sprung a flat or run over something, or whatever the case may be that they're attending to. So instead of having 1 truck late for drop off, you'll have 3 trucks late for drop off. Jonathan Miller says, I don't mind the automation, but self-driving technology was not ready for prime time. Maybe a decade or more away, outside of a few limited areas. I don't disagree that it's not ready today for most conditions, but trying to apply linear thinking to this isn't going to work either. We're not. It does. It does. I can make it bigger. The problem is on the different screens, as the size changes, I get frustrated. So I think it's Option plus. No, Command plus. Yeah, it does. As well as Option and Scroll. That's where I'm getting confused because they, for no reason, mix it up. Control and Scroll does not. Command and Scroll does nothing, but Command, Option, and Scroll. One of them in Scroll does the trick. Whatever. Yeah, so I'll make it bigger. Okay, yeah, I can do it per site. I don't have to do it everywhere. That was my problem before, was it was trying to apply it everywhere. And that messed up some applications that assumed that I didn't have it in. I'm getting older mode. Because I am getting older, and as you see, it does the thing. Where does it go right now? Okay, so yeah, so I don't know about the 10 years thing. That seems a bit far out from what I've been able to tell. Because even if you can't get it to drive everywhere all the time, if you can get it to reliably handle depot to depot or depot to highway to, like we saw week before last, I believe it was, where we saw the truck was able to handle being dropped off, go charge, and then go wait in the pickup area like it was a daycare or something. If you can handle those, do those. I'm just saying. I remain convinced that we could solve the operator shortage by taking some of the billions being funneled into self-driving and spend it in operator salaries. I accept that the people spending the billions are not operating trucking companies. They're operating truck manufacturers or technology companies. And I don't know that you can get somebody to pay a third party to pay the drivers. I mean, I'm sure you could, but I don't know that. Where do they make their money? How do they get their investment back? Why do they want to do it? All right, let's scroll these comments real quick, but I'm not going to hang on to them too much. Let's see. Automation. Aurora is ready now. Their data proves it. Okay, so somebody has seen their data. I don't think it's a decade away. I agree. Waymo's capable of driving within a city now. Mostly. Have they started taking highways yet? Although Aurora was like pretty much all highway. So on the flip side, I believe Aurora is done. A key executive just left, and I did the math right. They will be out of money within a year and a half. They seem to have good technology, and maybe someone will buy it. But it's still probably at least a decade away for practical use in limited circumstances. Again, with the decade thing, I don't think so. I don't know that it's a good idea to put it on a diesel truck. I think you should build it in to an electric truck instead of putting a hat on it like a Waymo. Just a LiDAR hat. At least it doesn't look as ugly as it does on a Waymo, but even the Waymo concepts have their stuff built into their breadbox vehicles. And breadbox because they're square, not because of development that they're breadboard. I don't know if Aurora will make it either, but autonomous trucking is happening now. A decade feels like a century when you're talking about technology. Yeah, if we give up on this now, that'll be another situation where China is going to give us serious trouble. They are running this on their roads now. It might just be the ports. It might just be like that truck we saw where it's handling its own refueling. But they're not going to stop just because we wanted to save some jobs. And yes, it's a lot of jobs, but I don't want to say go learn to code, but there are going to be opportunities and new jobs that did not exist before this came out. Was it trucking? I think it was trucking, where they did the demo where the lady was driving the truck from the other side of the country. Autonomous cars and trucks with human drivers, ridiculous. Yeah, because don't pay for one of those things. Ouch. I have family that drive trucks. Getting rid of useless jobs will lead to a lot of development and prosperity. Now, like I said, if they could drive multiple trucks, or if they could be that remote operator doing the the Las Vegas drone thing, that's different. Jobs should never be protected. Ouch. I think that's a bit strong too. I won't say never, but just for protectionist sake does seem to be not the right move either. What does he say? Development of new sectors and less working time for people. Yeah, like Elon's pitch for Optimus is definitely going to lead us to UBI or a rebellion, one or the other. Because if there are no jobs to do, except the robots' jobs, then what will people do? Well, they'll do what they like to do. But if they don't have basic needs covered, it's a problem. So you would need the ability for enterprising people to do what they want to do. Like, say you're in painting, you might want to sell your paintings, you might want to hang them up, you might want to give them away. And that should not affect your stipend if we're on UBI. If we want jobs, then we can ban everything but farming by hand. Then everyone will be having an untouchable work for 15 plus hours a day. No prosperity, though. He's right there. Maybe, yeah, there we go. Platooning could be a middle ground where 2 to 3 trucks following closely with one operator makes sense. There you go. Banning foreign engineers, devs, and analysts would, in theory, drive up labor rates in the U.S., sure. But hard to know what the broader consequences would be. Going after CEO pay, capping it at multiples, say 30x of the lowest paid employee, would be a bigger impact. It would certainly do something. Better pay for employees. All these companies need to pay their fair share. We are at a precipice. Things are going to change. Will we change them for the better? I don't know. Trucks autonomous enough that shouldn't be any drivers at all, period. Until then, a small amount of teleoperators is small enough to I don't know about. We'll see. This is getting into nuance, and they are jumping to some conclusions. All right, so that's why I didn't reset the password yet, because it didn't happen yet. I'm also locked out of one of my servers. I'll have to fix that one by hand. All right, so here's one that we reported on months ago. I thought they were done already from when we talked about it last, but they're not. So let's talk about it. I don't want to look it up. Copy it. So let's talk about them again now. So Bollinger Motors is actually still in business somehow. A federal judge in Michigan has placed the once promising electric truck brand Bollinger Motors assets into receivership following claims that the company's owners still owe its founder, Robert Bollinger, more than $10 million. Update. Bollinger CEO Brian Chambers says all is not lost. Just scroll down to the update. Bollinger versus Bollinger. Where is the update? Or is this all the update? Last week we read about a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit, and yeah, that is the update right here. Before the receivership, but our friends at Clean Trucking were able to regular problem, but that's interesting to me. we're able to connect with Bollinger's CEO, Brian Chambers, who says all is not lost. Receivership does not necessarily mean a company is headed towards liquidation. It's a knife edge. In fact, receivership is often used to avoid liquidation and can be the best course of action to help a company move forward. We continue to sell and service our trucks and support our dealers and customers. You can read more of his comments here and check out the original article. This needs to be added to my rounds. Anyway, let's go to Circle K. Yeah, that Circle K, the gas station. They've opened up a gasless station. Yeah, you know, those gasless stations I keep talking about that you convert a gas station or you make a new one. That's not a gas station at all. It's an EV charging hub. This is what the future of travel will look like. Circle K opened their first location exclusively for EV charging in Europe. The site fits 10 ultra-fast EV chargers in a convenience store while you wait. We don't even need to go into the article. I know it works. I've told you it works. I've showed you that it works. The only question is, you got to keep it appealing for people to use. You want to keep your prices low enough to attract customers, and then you want to have stuff worth doing outside of the car so that people will come visit you at the restrooms and such. Which reminds me of a tweet this morning. I think this is right. Nope. Kyle. There we are. Did I get autocorrected? Because that surely I thought that's what I typed. L3 is ready for sale in the US, looks like. Interesting. It looks like a Corvette SUV. All right, so here we go. Hosts of a critical charging stop just put up 2 of these massive signs. Do what you will with this information. So, well, let's just read it. These are giant signs. Curious what's in the container, because that's not a mega charger or a mega pack. Hotel facilities and bathroom facilities are for hotel registered guests only. The management. It's a Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott. And Austin Tuttle is the manager. So harassing them is not going to do what you want it to do. Well, there it is. There's my comment. This is why the one in North Carolina closed after they sold it, and Tesla moved the equipment after the contract duration. Don't be dirty, as in, you know, don't add extra to the janitorial. Be normal. Don't make a mess in there. That's what I'm saying. Don't be dirty. Try to occasionally buy something from their shops. So, you know, a $5 bottle of Pepsi or Coke or whatever, or a $3 bag of fun-sized chips. Just do it. This is why I don't care for hotels as hosts, but I do like them for being open late. This isn't that, because now it's another one of those places that's not useful as a late night charging stop because it is closed. But it's closed all the time, so it's extra bad compared to the rest. Tesla Charging says working with their management to provide access to restrooms, rare V2 superchargers without reliable restroom access are gradually being decommissioned. Tesla Charging says this, but this is very clearly a V3 charging. Well, no, that could be V3 equipment. Let me check at the. Yeah, that's a V2 right there. Okay, and the A. Okay. Fair enough. So it's had an update. That equipment is newer, and then these could be V2 connections. Now they've got me image sleuthing. I don't like image sleuthing. Let's go here. And okay, yeah, it is a V2. These are V2 cabinets back here. But that equipment is usually paired with a V3 charger. Interesting. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Oh, I'm zooming in and clicking on stuff you guys can't even see because I forgot to move the view. Kyle says thanks, claps. All right, so what I'm talking about here is okay, cool. So if I'm live, it doesn't play my autoplay thing. I like that. I always have to avoid my own autoplay. All right, so I'm going to search the channel for removed. The deleted supercharger. Warsaw, North Carolina had a supercharger that we're about to, that came off the map. It was here. I don't have to worry about the music because this is my YouTube channel, so it's already been approved.
Hard to do this with the wrong hand. Arc. 1B. All right, it says.
All right, so this was the V2 as well.
We won't actually get so fast. Come back with a review in just a minute. I say that. This is not.
Okay, as we can see on the map, it's another one of those ones that there's nothing to do if you can't use the facilities. I didn't even try to use the facilities because I knew the story about what happened. It was sold, and the new owners were hostile to Tesla owners, but they had a contract. So when the contract ended, Tesla ripped out the equipment and moved it to another site. Interesting. I know that my wife was there, but I don't see her in the video. Interesting. That's also good to see that it's showing the live streams and not just the year-old videos. All right, so let's see. The Gasent station, I like it. 10 million for what? That's a good question. I wonder if they are like a situation with a rolling downhill situation there, or Fisker, or Nikola. Could be. Certainly could be. All right, so let's. These didn't open in the order I wanted them to. I kind of wanted this one to be at the end. I was going to say, hey, look, happy Memorial Day, and here's some Memorial Day deals. And no, you're right. I don't want to paste it over the live stream. I want to paste it over my YouTube. Go. Thank you for asking. All right, so Memorial Day sales are here. These are the EVs you can snag for under $300 a month. You've got GM, Honda, the Kia Niro at $129 with $399.9 down. And your effective rate, including your upfront fees, is $295. Let's use this rate. No, because that's over $300 for most of the rest of them. So $179 on the Kia EV6, Ioniq 5, and Ioniq 6, $209 and $169 respectively. All right. And then Honda, you've got the Prologue at $239 and the ZDX at $299. Well, Chevy's got the same vehicle for $299. So you could get the Acura or the Chevy. Same car. Wait, no, it's not. The Blazer is the bigger one, right? So I don't remember. I think they're both on the Blazer, but the Blazer and the Equinox are close enough, and the platform and everything. But yeah, whichever one it is, $299. I would take the Acura personally. $289 or $299 for the Blazer EV. There it is, right there. So you pay $299 for the Chevy, or $299 for the Acura, or $289 for the other Chevy, and $239 for the Honda. Ford has the F-150 Lightning and Mach-E, both available for under $300 a month. And The Subaru BZ4X and the Subaru Solterra are $259, $279, and $299. These are the original one, the 2024 and 2025 models. This is not the stretched one. Not that the stretched one is that much more appealing than the originals. I just pissed off the computer. What did I do? Ooh, it's really mad. I saw it with the green background. And then the Leaf. You can get an old tech Leaf for $259 a month, or a Nissan Ariya for $129 a month, and the Fiat 500e for $159. And then at some point we'll get a new Leaf that actually can fast charge more than once a day. What do the comments say? Also need to factor in the mandatory insurance cost for an EV lease, which is likely to be pretty extensive. When you lease a vehicle, the dealers will know whether you have insurance or not. If you don't, then they will use their own insurance, which can be pretty expensive. I don't know about that last part, but the first part, you should probably have this insurance anyway if you're driving newer vehicles, because your exposure is high, both in getting your car fixed and liabilities. And I've had this kind of coverage for a while now because I did lease a couple cars, and I sold cars, and I've been in a crash. Well, I've been crashed, I should say. Yeah. So the insurance is not even a thought for me. But if you like less coverage, then yeah, you can't have less coverage on a lease unless you prepay it all up front, for instance. So do consider that. Yes, I was going to cover this as well, and I wasn't going to do it electric. So let's see, is that next? It's not next, but we'll get there. So then we've got our friends over at Teslarati talking about new Model S and X are spotted, but they leave a lot to be desired. So you guys know I've been waiting on a new Model X to come out so I can look at it and decide what to do with the current one. Well, still got a year of warranty remaining. But what we saw, I've got it in another publication as well. We've got some photos of like just the bumpers covered up. And it's got the front bumper camera, finally, but it doesn't look that much different from the outside. Excuse me. But the current one doesn't look that much different on the outside either, and it's a substantial upgrade from what I've got. Tesla's been hinting for a few months that the Model S and X would be getting some attention in 2025 as the vehicles continue to be sold in extremely low volumes. Both models seem to be under the knife, especially with their newest versions spotted in California earlier this week. However, images of the vehicle seem to show that Tesla is not planning on a major overhaul, which begs the question, why even do it in the first place? Well, why not? S and X are grouped with the Cybertruck and the semi-truck too. In Tesla's quarterly delivery releases, Q1 saw just 12,881 units of the 4 cars delivered. The Cybertruck likely made up the majority of this number. This is true. As some have reported, around 6,400 deliveries of all-electric pickup in Q1. Unconfirmed. The S and X have stuck around for sentimental reasons, according to Musk. I believe they are very expensive, made in low volume, and to be totally frank, we're continuing to make them for sentimental reasons than anything else. So I will say I get ditching the S. However, you don't have anything to replace the X yet. It still tows a substantial amount, 5,000 pounds with the right wheels, and it seats 7, and the rear seats have more legroom than on the 7-seat Model Y when you make a 7-seat Model Y, which you're not doing currently. And the 6-seat Model X is, I think, even more comfortable in that back seat because you don't have a bench in front of you. You have a gap where taller people can put their toes. For some reason, their embeds aren't working. Let's go there. Ah, and it went. It didn't just pop a new window for you guys. All right, so there is the current one, the plaid. He's back. And where do you put the front license plate? The X has always been a sticky, or drilly. So ours is on the tow hook because my wife wouldn't let me drill into the car. You took a peek inside. It was driving. That's the next need to go. It's time. Oh, wait a minute. I see something right there. That is a front bumper camera on the X. Ah. So even if it doesn't have the new plastic, it is still new. Because there's a bumper camera. Hopefully they add a washer to the rear camera, not just the front. Right, let's go back to the article and click on the other one here. Tesla's definitely doing some things. I don't look at the S enough to know what they've changed there, but this might be what's under the wraps in Germany. Oh. Sorry for my facial expression. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. They close out the little snoot. It looks like they closed out the snoot. The front grill insert over the front grill insert is over flush just enough to eliminate the need for the front plate for 5 miles per hour parking tests. Crumpling the hood aluminum. What? Creeping. This will make a great ad. This isn't a refresh, dude. But it is some things. Light bars. Well, possibly. Circling this, but that's been there forever on the S. It was chrome, and then it was black. So, while possible, it's unlikely. Model S needs changes, but not aesthetically. I mean, it's still a good-looking car. Is that a washer in the back, kilowatts? It's a very good question. Is that a washer in the back? He didn't answer. Still doing bad panel alignments. This we did see covered up with a more aggressive rear diffuser shape. Yeah. Let's go back to the X because now I'm curious. Did the X have the closed snoot? The X only breathes to the snoot, so I don't know that they could cover it up unless they changed it. Because that leads straight into the giant HEPA filter, the very first bioweapon defense hood. So again, looks like the X will get warmed over rather than redone from the exterior. It doesn't mean that they didn't do anything. Of these, I only see the camera. Bumper camera, yep. Looks like a front camera is finally a thing. They're just testing hardware 3 to hardware 4 upgrade. That would be fine. I would be perfectly fine with that. AI5 testing, perhaps. This is the new X after all those years. Well, it does mean they wouldn't jack the price to make this happen, though. Model S. That's no. The camera and ambient lighting can be retrofitted. Anything else? Oh, the ambient lighting is something that they've had. I think it will be able to retrofit. They've had the plugs for it for years now on the new S and X. All right, so that's that one, and then I had another look at this. That's next. That's Fiat. Where did I put it? Maybe I didn't save it. No, I didn't. I did save it. Here we go. Cut. Paste and go. Close that one. Tesla is testing an updated Model S Plaid. So far, it looks the same. Here's an open secret. Legacy automakers have long been accurately criticized for being too slow to adapt. Tesla is not as fast moving as it pretends to be. Cybertruck took nearly 5 years to be revealed to production. You can't count those years. It was bad form on their part to show it off so early, though. Okay, so they got pictures. I was hoping those would be pictures of the one in Germany, but they weren't. Starship gets FAA nod for the 9th flight, where we're looking at next week, Tuesday, possibly. We'll see. Musk just revealed more about June robotaxi launch and controlled rollout, geofence to certain Austin areas. No driver, no problem. This company's rolled out employee-only version of the robotaxi in Austin, the San Francisco Bay Area. Some have wondered whether the rides would be driverless, as the initial trials for the workers were not. Employees' rides featured a human driver to ensure safety. I think they might still be there from day one, just from looking at the applications they showed us, at least in Texas or California. All right. Thank you, Brian. Good to see you. Full self-driving licensing. That'll be interesting right there. I've always said that when the car can get the driver's license, that will change things. For more than a year, Tesla's indicated that it's in talks with another major automaker regarding that licensing it out to other companies. Until we see more, Elon's been saying that for years. That's nothing about this. We talked about this one on the Tesla Live show, so I'll skip it. This one was just something like I was talking about with the truckers. We've got Dear Car Dealers, this is how you sell an EV in 2025. And I didn't read it. I just saw the title and was like, yeah, exactly. Never fret, car dealers. This will help guide your EV curious customers in an increasingly hostile environment. Electric vehicle experience. So much new in the EV world. Rather than cast blame or judgment, we're here to say we get it. The stuff is new and often confounding. Yeah, you should have seen the folks who refuse to do the training on new gas car stuff. You want them to get a whole new paradigm? That looks pretty. Charging. Level 1, level 2. Public charging. Range. I don't see that helps the dealers. That's more for the manufacturers. How about this, though? A new Fiat truck. This Fiat tuk-tuk might be the cutest pickup in the world. And electric cars are still quite expensive compared to their combustion-powered counterparts in some cases. Despite more affordable units hitting the market, the average sale price of EVs in the U.S. last month was $59,205. And do gas trucks now. EVs don't have to break the bank, and Italy's Fiat knows better than anyone else. After the retrolicious and quite affordable Panda, the storied automaker has come up with possibly the cutest pickup in the world. I mean, there are some of these tending grounds all through the nation, and they are all over Asia as tuk-tuks, and basically all are named after the sound they make, and that's why in Thailand they call them tuk-tuks. And it's called the Tris, and it's Fiat's first ever three-wheel vehicle. Is it really? They didn't make a three-wheel tractor? Interesting. Some of you might remember the Piaggio Ape. iconic three-wheeled commercial vehicle that's been on every Italian street for a better part of a century. I just wanted to show you the picture. So with that, let's get on to, I told you about the snake charger sort of earlier. As soon as the computer participates, doesn't think I'm trying to look up a URL again. Eventually, it's highlighted the URL. No, I'm just making it mad. We've got URLs open. I do have a couple of IDEs, coding environments, but they're not doing anything right now. They shouldn't be. All right, computer, what's using up while you load? What are you thinking about so hard? Oh, of course, as soon as I open that up, it's done. I'm not working on nothing. I like the story. CPU time isn't really useful because I leave this thing on for days at a time. That's not helpful at all. So let's try again now that it's not busy. Move this over here. Paste and go. Close that one. And Hyundai Motor Group and Incheon International Airport have delivered next-level convenience with AI-powered EV charging robots. AKA, as I said, the snake butt is back, but actually works this time. You don't have to worry about bending over in front of it. Hyundai has partnered with the Incheon International Airport Corporation to commercialize AI-based EV charging, AI-based EV automatic charging robot services. Safety certified ACR to enhance the convenience and safety of the airport, contributing to smart airport solutions and expanding the group's robotics business domain. Incheon International Airport serves as a demonstration site for the group's ACR services, facilitating usability, verification, and gathering user feedback. The collaboration aims to expand ACR services across global transportation infrastructures, promoting future mobility solutions. Okay, so do we got a video of this thing? We see the pictures. We don't have a video of this thing. How unfortunate. We had the one at Electric, and I closed it because I thought that we had a copy already. But I was wrong. How far back can we get to Electric? Here. And, yep. And it's Volkswagen. Where is the video? There it is. Oh, this is Zeekr, though. It's not Hyundai. Interesting. They're talking about it. There.
They're not allowed to do it without somebody like laying flat in the car, but
that's helpful.
A robotic arm will come out, start charging the car, charge it to a predetermined amount of charge, and then pull out, and then the Zeekr car will pull away. So they have the whole thing going. This is
okay. So that's actually two of them now. Before the snake charger made it out, I don't think we're going to see the snake charger in reality. Steam. Oh, Steve's 2D. I thought that was going to be our friends at Kurzagat. Make some really cool videos. Where is next? California has more EV chargers than gas stations. I don't want to. We talked about that before. Let's talk about this one, though. Oh, and we've got Spike again. Who is spiking and why? Windows server. I didn't do that much with the windows. They're all in the same spot. Edge. Yeah, Edge makes sense because we're using that. Oh, thank you. As I look into what's going on, you do what I say. Great. Then close this one too. So next in 2025, it's happening. Implications and fallout. I owned 3 Nissan Leafs and understood well how limited charging options could be for non-Tesla EVs. Homes in Utah and northern Wisconsin, and did planning exercises on driving my 150-mile range 2018 Leaf between 2 homes. If you have read stories about early automobile trips across the U.S., it would have been almost like that. Yeah, our friend Patrick can tell us about owning a Leaf as Teslas were spreading. These aren't so bad, though, because these all have CCS. Leaf, not so much. Yeah. I thought there'd be more we could discuss about Max. There's not. And then the rest of this is not stuff about the show. So with that, let's do this and come over here and do this and then click that. And then that. So at this point, I want to thank all of you guys for your time today. I want to thank our channel members for your contributions because those do help. In fact, we finally got a YouTube check for the first time in a minute, and that paid the connection bills. So we appreciate that. And
happy Memorial Day to all our veterans.
yes, happy Memorial Day to the veterans. And well, yeah, it's the veterans, but more to in memory of those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our for their service, and of course also any POWs. I know that we have a separate day for POWs, but we can remember them on Memorial Day as well. And then again on Veterans Day, we'll get you guys as well. And yeah, so also everybody else for giving your time today, because I appreciate it. What did you guys think about this new, more relaxed start time rather than me trying to hit the 110? It felt smoother for me. If only I could get more put in the notebook during the week. But we'll have to wait for the complainer to get her first teeth in, because I think the teething isn't so bad after the first ones come in. At least it wasn't with this child. With Moto, it wasn't so bad, but we'll see how it goes. I'm working on, as I see stuff, I put it in the notebook. As you saw, there were just raw tweets this week, but we'll get there. It's gonna be something fun as we build it up.
I thought it was nice of Brian White to drop by.
I agree. I appreciated him coming through and chatting up with us. And what's that glowing over here? Oh, it's a plate. You guys can see my breakfast. I guess I should be glad it wasn't a mess. All right. So again, thanks to channel members. Thank all of you guys for your time. Thanks for watching and sharing. And thank you, Highlander, for doing the mod duties as much as X would allow this week. Maybe next week they'll actually let you push the buttons. So just saying, hey, here's some buttons. Don't push them.
Yeah, one can always hope.
I think they're
with X, you just never know. It's like roll them bones, baby. What's going to happen this time?
Yeah, but I hear their CEO is back, so maybe they can actually, if they give him an Android phone, maybe they can realize some stuff is up, and maybe if he feels chatty, he can realize even on the iPhone that the Spaces is not as stable as it needs to be. And heaven help him if he tries to use it.
No, Well, I started real briefly. I started X when it was X, right after the whole takeover thing. Oh, it was a mess.
Yes, it was.
And then it kept getting better and better and better.
And then it hung out.
And here recently, it's like somebody dumped a box of bugs in there again. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's because they're working on it. I'm not sure. But if he tries to space this from the computer, he might throw his laptop against the wall. So maybe you should try that. Because as much as we complain about it being on the phone, it is not a good experience on the computer most of the time for me.
No, it is absolutely not. It is not written for a
It's mobile
desktop
first.
or a laptop type platform at all.
Yeah. But as long as we keep complaining about it and posting about it, they might. Well, I'm sure they see it, but they might be able to collate a report for him. Look, you had 9 million reports of complaints about spaces on iPhone and 10 million on the Android. Can we do something now? The best part is no part. I don't know. But those of you who are celebrating tomorrow, enjoy your cookouts and everything. Like I said, give some thought out to those who did pay the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. And for those of you who are doing Remembrance Day or just doing it on a different day, I can't keep track of where it is all around the world. So I'm going to wish it to you now. And I thank all of your folks as well, because hopefully we never go there again. I know that we are tiptoeing around it, trying it, but we need not dip our toes in those waters. We can just look back and then honor their sacrifice by not jumping back into it again worldwide. So
yeah, let's not do that.
yeah, worldwide.
Hey, you know what they told us? I got discharged.
What'd they say?
Too old to call you back.
Huh?
Oh, when I got out of the Navy,
yeah,
the last thing they said is just remember, you're never too old for us to call you back.
This is true. This is very true, because they say, oh yeah, you're done, but they have those clauses in there. They got the period at the end where you're still technically active or reserve or whatever, and they just pull you back, and then if they want, he said.
Yeah, let's not test any of that at all.
Let's not test any of it. Yeah, but as he said, they can.
Let's not test it.
They can pull you all the way back. I mean, what did Russia have? Grandpas on the line, like not young grandpas either. We're talking like you think grandpa, and it was that.
You look at our military, and then you look at the conflict war going on over there, and you're like, oh my God, those guys are my age.
Yeah. Oof. And can you?
All right, you have a blessed weekend,
you
and the family, young man, and we'll see you next week.
Alrighty. And the rest
same
of you,
bat channel.
Yes.
Flexible time.
Flexible time, but about this time. So catch you on the flip side. Thank you very much. See you next time. Oh, I find the button instead of the close screen button. Click. It's not clicking. It's not clicking. Why aren't you clicking? It's just messing with me now. There we go. All right.